News, I'm Clive Hunton. A bushfire that's destroyed 86 homes northeast of Perth has been downgraded to a watch and act as emergency services battled to contain the blaze overnight. The Department of Fire and Emergency Services says the alert was downgraded because of milder temperatures and ongoing efforts by fire crews to mop up and strengthen containment lines. The blaze was reported on Monday and has burned through almost 11,000 hectares of land. DFS Commissioner Darren Clem has praised efforts of crews overnight.
We've just had night after night of that strong winds, and to get through last night without any major breakouts mean that we're in a great place to be able to drop those warnings back today.
Meanwhile, around 80% of Western Australia's population are emerging from a 5-day snap lockdown sparked by a COVID case last week. Brianna Shepherd reports.
Perth and Peel and southwest regions have begun day one out of lockdown that began last Sunday after a hotel quarantine security guard tested positive for COVID-19. After 5 days of no local cases, the lockdown ended at 6 o'clock last night, with the southwest going back to normal, while some restrictions for Perth and Peel remain in place. Businesses and venues can open, however, the 4 square metre rule is back, along with a 150-person limit. Masks must also be worn in public and at work. So far, Corey Stott from Littleway Cafe in Nedlands says everyone's complying.
People have been fantastic. I've just noticed that everyone so far has been taking it upon themselves to check in.
The casino and nightclubs are to remain closed.
A review of ventilation at Melbourne's quarantine hotels has been ordered and other measures have been put in place to help stop the spread of the virus. Victorian government has announced all quarantine hotel staff must now wear face shields and surgical masks, while meal deliveries are being staggered. 140 rooms have been removed from the hotel quarantine system to create a buffer between rooms. The changes come as investigations continue into the source of recent positive COVID cases in hotel quarantine, which appear to have spread within the programme. Victoria's Emergency Services Minister Lisa Neville says the changing nature of the virus is challenging.
We said that we put in place the most robust program at the time, and I believe that is the case, and we are now putting in place changes to ensure that Victoria continues to put in place best practice when it comes to infection prevention and control.
In a new measure, New South Wales Health says it'll start testing people after they leave hotel quarantine to enhance security for the community. New South Wales Health's Dr Christine Selvey says returned travellers will be contacted 2 days after they finish their fortnight in quarantine. She says people will then be asked to go for another COVID-19 test.
Contact tracers are calling travellers 2 days after their hotel quarantine period ends to check their health and ask them to attend a nearby testing clinic. If travellers being tested on day 16 have no symptoms, they will not have to isolate further due to the low risk of them returning a positive result.
The Defence Department is refusing to comment on claims an Afghan warlord gifted gold watches to Australian Special Forces commanders. Former soldiers who served in Australia's Special Operations Task Group have told the ABC that militia leader Matullah Khan regularly handed the lavish gifts to senior figures. Professor John Blaxland from the ANU says the Australian government policy is generally to avoid receiving such gifts.
There are instances, particularly when dealing internationally with other cultures, where it is demonstrably inappropriate not to take the gift. And there are protocols for how Australian government employees, including soldiers, are meant to handle that.
Federal opposition leader Anthony Albanese has kicked off an official tour of Queensland with former Prime Minister Kevin Rudd. Queensland proved a crucial battleground state in the 2019 federal election, and Prime Minister Scott Morrison revisited regional areas of the state last month. Mr Albanese was joined by Mr Rudd at the South Bank Collective Markets in Brisbane today at the start of a one-week tour that will focus on wages and job security.
We know that far north Queensland's doing it tough when it comes to jobs, and the big focus of my visit here, as I spoke with Premier Palaszczuk this morning, is jobs. The need to get jobs back to Queensland.